Now it's time to take a look at video in our Flash movies. Now, CS4 is an exciting version for video because now in this Flash version, we can import and create and set up our brand new H.264 video types. Now, that's a brand new standard based on the MPEG-4 set, and this is the type of standard that's going to be used all the way from television files, 1080p, nice high-end high definition, all the way down to our device market like iPods or mobile devices. So let's take a look at what we need to do to get video in. Now, we don't have to use this, but a great place to start is the video import. It's really going to open up a wizard for us. So let's go over to the File menu, and we'll get things started by going down to the normal import, and we'll choose Import Video. This brings up an import wizard, and it's going to walk you through the process of getting video into your file. Now, the first thing we need to do is bring in the video. But actually, before we even get to that, we need to make sure that the video is in the correct format. So I'm going to start by going down to the bottom of this import screen where it says Launch Adobe Media Encoder. This is an external app from the Flash application, but it's exactly the same media encoder you would use if you were creating video using some of the other Creative Suite products, like After Effects or even Premiere. So let's just click that button to launch up our media encoder. Now, mine came up really fast because I already had my application up and running. So you may want to pause this video just to give yours time to catch up, and then we'll take a look at some of the settings. Now, the first thing we want to do inside the media encoder is actually add the video that we want to have encoded. So I'm going to go up to the Add button up here at the top, and what I want to do is navigate to our project files on the desktop. We'll go to the Chapter 8 folder, and we'll open up these Morris Dancers here. This is a QuickTime file. Now, I'm not sure why our photographer would have a video of dancers, but it gives us something to put on the site. So let's open that on up, and you can see it gets added to the list here. Now, we've got a whole bunch of settings to take a look at the top, so I'm just going to start from left to right, and we'll pull down Format first. This shows immediately the new formats for video that are available with this version of Flash. In previous versions, we just had the FLV file, but now we have the F4V file, and that represents our new H.264 and MPEG-4 formats. Now, if you choose the H.264 setting, this changes the presets to give you a list of very common presets ranging from high-definition television to iPod and even YouTube down in here. If you're targeting one of those types of environments, you can just select the preset. Now, if we go back up to Format and we choose FLV and F4V from the list, our presets change to very common web-based formats. And you'll notice here we get a choice between the FLV format, and that's our older Flash 8 and 7 formats, and the F4V format, which is our H.264 format. Now I'm just going to choose the web medium widescreen source for a starter point for ours, and you can see that that sets it right up in the preset. But we can change any of these settings just by double-clicking on that preset itself. That opens up our export settings panel, which is divided into two parts. On the left-hand side, we can basically take a look at our source and our output that we would be making from this file. We can even scroll through the video and get a good preview of what we're going to be working with. On the right-hand side are all the basic settings. Now, it starts off by exporting my video at a medium size, which is 364 by 200, and that's one of the best ways to make your video much more playable by a wider audience. Now, our particular video that we're going to be working with doesn't have any audio on it, so I'm going to start by removing the audio export. We'll just uncheck that box. And we can see it says no summary available for audio. We've also got some other details down here about the compression. Now, if you want to change any of the detailed settings, we can go over here to this button, which opens up Advanced Mode, and that simply opens up the panels at the bottom so that you can modify these settings to whatever you like. By turning off audio, we already got a custom preset. So we'll just take a quick look at the settings, and then we'll save that preset just in case we want to use it again anywhere else. We can add blur filters to our video. You can see we've got a format setting, and we've chosen that F4V format. And under the video settings, this is where we're seeing things like the size and the frame rate. Now, in general, if you want to get your video to play on lower-end machines, the first thing you want to do is reduce the size of the playback video. If you're still having trouble with playback, the next thing to go for is probably the frame rate. It's fairly common to change it from same as source, which is usually about 30 frames per second or 2997 depending on where you got your video, and drop it down to something like 15. But we're going to leave ours at same as source for now. We've got other settings down below that also let you modify the bitrate directly. You can even go from a one-pass variable bitrate to a two-pass one, which simply just takes a little bit longer but does a better job on the file. I'll leave ours at 1 for now. And what I'll do is go up to this button right up here at the top next to my preset, and we'll save our custom preset as website video. We'll just select the name in the panel, type in website video, and when I click OK, we can close out of our export settings dialog box, and we can see our new website video settings been applied to our selection. It's also available from the presets menu from now on anytime you want to use it. The last thing we want to set up is where this file is going to go. It's going to create a brand new movie file with the F4V extension on it, and we can click right in this panel and place it wherever we'd like. Now, since we picked up our video from Chapter 8, it's starting there, but I'm going to set it where our final files are located. So, I'm just going to move back over to the desktop. Let me open up here so I can navigate. I'll go into my project files, and I'll go down to that Flash website folder we've been using so far, and I'm just going to save it right into there. Now all we have left is to actually create that F4V file. I can add more items to my list and set up settings for them as well, but to get it to start, we just need to click Start Queue here. And it's just going to go through the process of encoding my file from the QuickTime into our brand new F4V format. Now that it's all finished, we can go back to our Flash movie and set the rest of our video up.